The Blood Sea of Istar, grim reminder of the vengeance of the gods. Rolling and churning angrily, these sanguine waters are the grave of many a brave sailor. Across this haunted sea, the heroes must journey to find freedom and victory. Trapped in the lands deep within the enemy's territory, the heroes must seek the shadows to evade the Dragon High Lord's cruel clutches. But fate deals them a strange hand, placing the cornerstone to the Dark Queen's defeat within their reach. If only they can capture the crucial pawn before the darkness snatches it away. To the world of Kryn and the legendary DragonLance.
Not over anything. I got you covered.
Oh, good.
And with that, we are live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Atomic Peanut Butter presents DragonLance: Dragons of Faith, Part 4. I am your dungeon master for tonight's festivities. You can call me Adam because that is my name. Of course, you can catch us here live whenever we bother to play on Fridays on Twitch/Atomic Peanut Butter Group, YouTube/Atomic Peanut Butter Group, and you can also listen to us on podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. I don't care where it is. We're there, baby. Just by searching for Dragonlance Chronicles until, of course, the cease and desists. It is Pride Month, so happy Pride Month, everybody. I've got people in the wrong spots, so bear with me because Streamlabs, if you'd like to be a sponsor, we'd love to have you. Sucks and will not let me use studio mode anymore. So Sedgwick is Kemchan and Kemchan is Sedgwick until further notice.
And they're all hard to tell the difference.
Now I've got multiple Sedgwicks.
It's the beard. It's
the beard. They're wearing the same color coat and shirt.
Catching on, yeah.
Same haircut.
There's
dudes with beards. That's
yeah,
pretty much it.
All right, there we go. Everyone's good. Thank you, Halfling Wizard, for following. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Speaking of Halfling Wizards, let's start with Kemchan.
That makes sense. Good segue. Yeah. Good segue. So, yes, Kemchan is still here, and Kemchan is still playing Gural Nightfoot, our human battlemaster fighter. Looks like a giant dwarf, and the lovable one of the group.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in this group, probably, yeah. Even though he's like a homicidal murderer in many cases. Only against bad guys.
But they were all bad.
He's not homicidal.
And they all deserved it. Yes.
Vengeful.
And just because I take glee in it doesn't mean I'm homicidal.
I think that's what it's getting you to the line at least.
Don't talk about that part.
No,
it's getting you to the line at least.
Please sublimate the glee.
Let's move on. Let's move on to Sedgwick. Hey, Sedge.
Hello. Here playing Feldspar the Dwarf, and I am a bit sick, so I will try not to cough into the microphone too much.
Thank you. On behalf of our podcast listeners.
Yeah, keep those germs way over there.
Yeah. Speaking of germs, Michael, who are you playing tonight?
Hey, I'm playing Stone Moss, a astral druid from before the Cataclysm. He had a long nap, woke up, Cataclysm had happened. Some other bad stuff's happening. Very confusing, very strange. But yeah, that's who I'm doing, and that's who I'm playing.
All right. As you can see, Chuck couldn't bother to be here again tonight. He only plays every other week, apparently. Gaz.
Well, the stars have to align, and
Yeah.
the stars just didn't align for him.
I guess the stars were not
There it
aligned
is.
for Chuck.
Right, I'm Gaz, and I am playing Vantellis. Definitely not the friendliest member of the party. He's a elven noble who's now in the service of the forest master as a unicorn warlock. He's not actually a unicorn. He's not like
It'd be really cool though if he were playing a unicorn.
I mean, it would be cool, but he's not. So,
Adam said no.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
sorry.
But,
Just,
can we all just pretend in our minds it's a unicorn?
Sure. Yeah,
I mean,
you could-
I would like it if you would. Yes.
I've been hoping Gary would somehow turn out to be a unicorn all this time to make our friendship worthwhile, and so far, hasn't happened. So far, it hasn't happened. So we'll see. Maybe
When
one
you
day.
least expect it, Adam. When you least expect it.
Yeah. I'll wake up in the middle of the night with him in a horse suit.
Standing
I'm like,
over you.
Gary, why are you in a horse suit? I'm a unicorn.
On an unrelated note,
But
you know,
there's
I'm
no
taking a trip
horn.
to the States
I'm a
this
hornless unicorn. I'm sorry, what?
week. No, nothing.
Yeah, Bromanite says every other week on a channel that streams irregularly. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are we going to be on next week?
We will not be here next
No.
week. We're going to take the week off and then maybe be back the following week. We haven't figured that part out yet. But
Probably, but you know,
Probably.
if it's over even Vegas odds, I'd bet against.
I wouldn't bet on us at all because you never know when we're going to show. We don't even know half the time. Sometimes we're positive we're going to go on and we don't. Other times we're positive we won't go on, like when we finished the last module. We had only 2 people, and we're like, no, we're definitely not going to go on. And then the last minute, like, let's just do it. Let's just play. Fuck the other guys.
That's true.
Anyway, antecedently on Dragonlance, I didn't write this one down, but this one is pretty easy. As the companions are heading north on their way to Kerr, they camped. They were caught by a peeing draconian. A peeing, then fleeing draconian, I should say.
We weren't
they
caught. We weren't caught.
You were
Discovered.
discovered.
You were
Not
discovered.
caught, true. They saw you.
Yeah.
And then they spent the entire next episode, which was last episode, fighting a group of draconians and the hobgoblins. They did capture a hobgoblin, interrogated him, found out that the Green Dragon Army troops have taken over the city of Pashin, which is where they are currently headed. They do have a little bit of an insight on where to get someone fell in poo, right? Oh, yes, they did. That was Feldspar. Cleaned up, though. Luckily, there was enough prestidigitation to go around. Now, then that's what you remember of the stream. So
That's the important part.
yeah, that's the
Only thing that happened, really.
yeah. Antecedently on Dragonlance, Feldspar fell into poo and was subsequently cleaned up magically. And that brings us to tonight's episode. So now you all are trying to finish your long rest.
I'm inside of a rock.
You're staying in the rock, or are you going to camp?
I'm just gonna stay in the rock. I might as well. I could stay here for 8 hours without air. Somebody tap on the rock when it's time to go, and I'll crawl out.
I mean, the rock is
Or
not
if
at the
you need me.
campsite, so
Great.
You know,
So
if
we're
we
gonna
leave, we'll
spend half-
probably forget which
Yeah.
rock you're in.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say we're gonna spend half the session knocking on different rocks, hoping
I'm
to get
in
the
the
I guess
right
we could
one.
like paint a sign on the rock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
which would defeat the purpose of having it.
I slept for hundreds of years. If I sleep for hundreds or more inside of a rock, I'm really not going to care.
You just paint on there, Feldspar is here. Not Feldspar. What's your name?
Stone moss.
Stone Moss is here.
Do not wake until 7 a.m.
Yeah.
For the rest of you, you go back to camp. Try to get your Z's in. You had, I think you had 6 hours before you got woken up. So we're going to say, though, you're going to need another 4. Last time it was Ergrin and Gorell on watch. Are you going to keep that same watch and then swap out?
Sure.
No.
Well, whoever didn't get any rest should probably get
Right.
some rest.
Right.
Everyone has gotten
So-
some amount of rest so far.
Something out for us. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was first watch. I remember that. So
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Is this? I think this was the 3rd watch. That was when we were found.
That sounds right.
That actually does sound right. So it was a 3rd watch. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you
So,
still have 4
yeah.
hours left, basically, is what I'm telling
All
you
right.
now.
Cool. So Gorell's gonna be like,
So 2 watches.
okay. Okay. Gorell's gonna be like, I'm. All right. That was a lot. I'm done. Somebody take over. And then proceeds to fall asleep.
Yeah, Ventelis hasn't been on watch yet, and he's an elf, so he's probably all good already.
You can
anyway.
take the 4 hours. Yeah, you're fine.
So yeah,
'Cause you already got-
I'll just be like, I'll go ahead and watch.
All right. So you go ahead and watch. You're going to need to roll me 2 d20 rolls.
All right.
And roll good, because I didn't prepare for this.
7 and 15.
Well,
I'm guessing that's not good.
the 15 is fine. the 7 is where you run into trouble.
this is why I'm in a rock.
So we're going to say, though, we are going to say that this is at the end, within the last hour. You hear a noise. Roll me your perception check.
Okay. I should probably have my character sheet open.
Roll 20 if you'd like to be a sponsor. We'd love to have you.
No, this was a me problem, not a roll 20 problem.
Well, still,
Gary, we'd love to have you as a sponsor.
you never had a sponsor, despite years and years of Adam begging online
Begging.
for a sponsor.
Yeah, no one has bit yet. In
Right.
4 years.
The problem is that they don't watch the stream. If they watched the stream and heard what wonderful
begging.
things we say about their products, they
Begging.
wouldn't be able to resist sponsoring us, I imagine.
That's
Right,
fair.
Streamlabs, for example, I'm sure
The
is just,
begging.
Yeah.
So 17 on the perception check.
17 is a good perception check. Roll me d8.
These dice. I think we're like playing D&D or something.
3. Okay.
there's some sided dice you haven't rolled yet. So
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah,
you
would
might
you
as well
also
roll.
like me to-
Might as well roll a d12 too, because that never happens.
Sweet.
It
All
never
right,
comes up.
D12.
unless you're a
9.
barbarian,
9.
That's a great D12 roll.
That is a great d12 roll. So basically, what you hear in the distance are 3 ogres, and they are walking basically parallel from where you are, in the same direction that you are heading to go, planning to go, which is north. They're
And
about, I'd say, from you and your pointy elven ears, which I imagine make you hear better. Is that cool to say, or is
Yeah,
that
no.
problematic?
That's how it works, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought so.
anyway, moving on.
You can tell that they're pretty close. They're within 100 feet away from you.
Okay. I will go to the side of the camp that is, closest to where I hear them and start letting people know very quietly.
Sure, that would be the eastern side.
Okay,
And
so
you're gonna
yeah,
let people know.
creep around and start, quietly, gently waking people up and just telling them to stay silent but be ready.
Can I just, if I may, mansplain the game for you? No, you don't want me to? All right, you wake everybody up.
No, I'm good.
All right,
I'm
so
good.
you wake everybody up.
Yeah.
So you guys still do not have your long rest.
I'm inside a rock.
You're inside of a rock.
Tap on the rock.
Yeah. You just better get used to being in that rock, because I don't think anyone's coming for you. All right, so you wake everybody up and tell them.
No, like I said, that I tell them to stay quiet but be alert, because there are ogres walking by the camp. We don't need to engage them.
I was quiet when I was sleeping, I imagine. Now I might soliloquy.
You know what? That's your call, man.
Thinking about it.
Wait, sorry, I'm Vantellis, not Colothon. That would be most inadvisable.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Still now I really want to do it, but figure I probably shouldn't, I guess. Ogres, you say?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
3.
Yeah. Ogre trifecta.
Maybe we don't need to continue to talk about it.
Yeah, man, I told you I was really in the mood for a soliloquy, and here we go.
Okay, go back to sleep then.
Good night, my friend.
Good night.
Days in the dark of summer.
Everybody roll me, with advantage, a stealth check.
Carnage, it's fine.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
assume you don't need
exactly.
one from me.
No, you don't
Roll a
need to
stealth
do
check
it.
for the rock.
You're actually very close to them, though.
That's fine. Oh, can I do a perception check with disadvantage?
Sure. Wow.
Gorell rolled a 9.
And then went down to a 2.
Yeah. So there's 9.
You got any inspiration there?
Just a 7.
You hear them talking, but you can't make it out through the stone surrounding you. But roll me an intelligence check, though, Michael. Or Stone Boss.
Ooh,
4.
not really awake.
No, you're still... You just roll over and you're rocking.
I kind of hear something, and I'm like, "Shut up, guys!"
What's your name? Vantellis. Roll me a straight intelligence check too, if you wouldn't mind.
You know what? It's Pride Month. I'm going to roll a gay intelligence check.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
That's fair.
If I can actually,
You can. Just roll an intelligence check. A 10. That's a nat 1. No, that's just it just looks like that because you're rolling with disadvantage.
No, it's
Or
a 10.
advantage or
I have
whatever.
a 0 bonus on my intelligence.
A 10 is good enough for you to remember that there was a massacre nearby in the general direction that those ogres are walking.
I probably wouldn't have known that anyway.
You were there.
Oh, okay. So it was an old massacre. You're saying?
This is the one you were there for. That's what made you go into the
Oh.
rock in the first place.
Oh,
I think you missed most of it. In a row.
Yeah, you did miss most of it, but you were almost
no,
one
I
of the
thought you
people
were
massacred.
talking historical, but I
Yeah, I'm not sure
where
what
you're
I'm supposed to
going now.
glean from this information.
That the ogres are gonna find the combat zone.
Okay. Well, we didn't camp right in the same place where we had the fight,
No,
did we?
but that's where they are walking.
Oh, okay. Great.
And let's see. For those of us who can't see, which is everybody besides the players and I, we have a stealth roll of a 2, and an 18.
I get the 17, right? Minus
Yeah,
advantage.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, you had
The
advantage.
worst one is
I
a
did-
9.
I did
The
say
worst roll is a
advantage, didn't
9.
Yeah.
I? All right, you got it right, dear. I shouldn't have said advantage.
Chem-chan had a 9.
Yeah.
It would have been
I
more.
kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of advantage like that was because when you woke up Garel, he was like, "Ah, what? Ah,
Pretty much.
Gross.
ugh,
No, quiet,
just
quiet,
went
quiet.
to sleep."
All right. Well, we have more successes than failures, so we will consider that a success. All right.
These are gonna need to be re-soaked.
You hear that they are there, still mumbling, or well, it sounds like mumbling because they're far away, or 100 feet away, or whatever it is away from you, 100 and plus feet away from you. Still in the same spot. Anything you would like to do?
Oh, they're not moving?
As of right now, no. It's only been a few seconds, however.
Oh, okay. Well, then I think we wait to see if they continue. At least that's what I'm planning on doing.
You can't see what they're doing, but you still hear them talking amongst each other. It sounds like they're almost arguing amongst each other. But again, you can't tell what they're saying. However, again, you do feel like they may be in the battle zone from which you left a few hours ago. Now, what you would remember they would see. Let's go back to that.
Ogres are incredibly dumb, so...
Yes, but there are 2 dead hobgoblin captains in red Dragon Army apparel. There's a stone tree which is trapped a living hobgoblin captain that does have an air hole, and if they get close enough, they could probably hear him scream. There are also 2 Sylvac Draconians, that one of which looks like Garel, the other which looks like Feldspar, lying on the ground.
Oh,
Yeah.
For
Probably
those-
would have been a good idea to hide those.
Yes,
In
this
retrospect.
could be
well, they'll
this could
think
be
we're dead.
problematic.
Yes. The good news is
You know,
that
I would say that I'm glad that none of them look like me, but I'm an elf, so I'm screwed anyway.
yeah. So you. It wouldn't have really made that much more of a difference for you.
Yeah. Highly wanted elf versus mostly wanted elf.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They still want you regardless.
It's nice to be wanted.
Want you to want
Does
me.
anybody know if ogres are sympathetic to the dragon offer?
Absolutely, they are. Inside the
They
rock.
are?
Yes.
Yes, the rock. So anyway, that's what you imagine they're coming across right now. And Bromernard asks, does he go into a little stone, or does it have to be a stone his size? It would have to be a stone that he'd be able to fit into.
Yeah. Conveniently, most rocks that are poking above the ground are much larger under the ground. So
So does it just need to be of an equivalent mass, or does he actually need to be able to like fit inside
I
it,
think it'd have
like
to fit
scrunched up?
inside. That's what
you
I
have to
think.
be able to fit inside in some fashion. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So his back is going to be killing him when he gets out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
But it's much better than turtle armor.
Oh, okay.
It's
What do you
rock.
got against turtles?
Yeah, Michael. That was not a rhetorical question. We
Oh,
expect
I
you to
love
answer
turtles.
it.
Back in there, I have about 8 or 10 turtles that I made. So
Nice.
You also
Hey.
ran us through a full turtle adventure.
yeah. No, I love turtles. So.
All right, so what's going on?
I'm going to tell you in a moment. Once
okay.
I find...
So I have some turtles with the like every class. There's like a bard one with a guitar. There's the wizard one. There's the fighter ones. There's the everything you could think of. Hopefully, Adam's found his thing now.
I did, yep. All right. The good news is that they cannot figure out what transpired. And you hear them packing up stuff and leaving.
Nice.
Again,
Mission accomplished.
heading north. Yeah.
I'm sure that will be fine. They're not going to bite us whatsoever.
Yeah,
You know?
they've probably
You're up.
already forgotten.
Grell's upset he was woken up for nothing.
That's fair.
All right. What do
So
you
now-
Everyone go back to sleep then.
So now I was gonna say, can we go back to sleep and get a full rest?
I will let you go back to sleep and just give you a full rest just so we can move on with our lives. How about that?
Thank you. Yes.
Although,
I mean, if
tell
you're
you
just,
what,
like,
Gary,
if you're
roll
just,
me
like,
a...
nudged up from sleep, and then in 2 minutes can go back to sleep. I don't know if that really counts as interrupting a full rest.
I don't know. My cats will
In the real world,
morning
at
at
least, that
4
doesn't.
a.m. and I didn't go back
Well,
to sleep. So
I'm
Well,
looking at it...
I guess
In the-
it depends on your personal level of insomnia.
Right.
Exactly. I was gonna say, in the real world, I could go to sleep right now, Gary. So
Me too. But if I if I woke my wife up just by accident, she is immediately going to think that there is something terribly wrong and then be up all night. And now in this situation, which is a high stakes situation, the adrenaline immediately starts getting going, right? Because
Right.
you know you're behind enemy lines as well. So Gary, just do me a favor, roll me a d20, and I'd love it if you rolled a 1.
Nope.
Go high.
But it's still
You
not
rolled
good.
a 7 again, though. 3 more. Just kidding. All right, you are able to get your rest.
All of us.
Yes.
Okay.
It is evening. It's a little bit later because you were sleeping during the day. It is a bit later than you've been used to traveling because you got interrupted a little bit. So it's probably about 9 p.m. As you begin your travels. So it is dark. Again, you're kind of in an area that is not a lot of trees anymore. There are some still. It's a lot drier in this area than it was in... Well, Sylvanesti was just a shit show. But than what Sylvanesti would normally be like. You're heading toward... desert lands, but you're not quite there yet. So, you still have some, rolling hills, small rolling hills, some, spots of grass, rocks, some trees, not a ton.
as we're walking, I'm actually asking about 1 million questions too of the history since I fell asleep. So I have some awareness of what's going on, basically.
We could roleplay some of that because this is a podcast that people listen to for story purposes. Just
Sure. I
throwing that
mean,
out
I
there.
could just be asking what has actually happened in the most recent. Why are these dragon armies attacking? Why now? Why is what has transpired recently that would cause this, and what are these strange creatures that we fought back there that change shape and to make themselves appear to be other members here?
Hey, Ace. You gonna let us answer a question, or you just gonna keep asking?
Oh, I have a million. Go ahead and yeah. What can you tell me?
Let me explain. No, it's too much. Let me sum
Too
up.
much.
All right, Ben, tell us.
From what we can piece together, there was an agreement between the good and bad dragons to leave the world, and the bad dragons have broken the agreement and
Right.
have made these horrible dragon.
You don't know anything
walking
about
things.
Okay.
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and say all the things I'm going to say, and then you can excise whatever you like.
I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna edit you as you go.
So Takesis is back.
That you know. Yeah.
Yes, and is at the head of all this bull. And so, yes, now we need to fight them. And I mean, is there anything else that's really relevant right now?
Well, I'm like I said, have about a million questions. But where did those creatures? I've never seen anything like those creatures that we just fought. They resemble lizard men a little bit. Maybe some kind of dragon lizard cross thing.
Yes, there's some sort of corrupted dragon creature.
Yes, but where did they come from? I mean, that's
Well, I mean, I don't know. If I were another elf or a half elf who was possibly a continent away, I might have more of an idea of what's currently happening with those dragon creatures.
Check out
No.
YouTube/Atomic Peanut Butter Group for previous episodes of DragonLance to find out this and more about what's happened in the past.
So anyway, I'm asking questions like that just to kind of get a handle of what's going on.
And Vantellis is getting more and more dismissive of each question that he gets.
Well, now, I mean, if this here feller really did come from the cataclysm, it's not from around here. I understand that things probably are a little bit different.
Things are way different, yes.
Well, all I can tell you is the gods left and the gods came back.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
and that seems to have kicked off this here ruckus.
As usual, us mortals swept up in their squabbles.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Anything else specific you'd like to know there, friend? And there's a lot we don't know. Well, I never seen anything like these crazy critters before in my life either, but I know one thing. Bad news. And I know another thing. If you see him, you better kill him, because they'll kill you.
So yeah. So Sylviana had something to do with it all?
Sylviana. I don't know if I know that name.
All right.
Anybody else? Anybody else recognize the name Sylvia? Not to be confused with Silvara, which is another canon name here in this series. She's a little bit more popular than the one that Fogstone over there is talking about. What's your name? Stone Moss over there is talking
Stone
about.
Moss.
I'll just combine your last two characters, put them all together, give them a ship name.
Yeah, well. The last one was extremely haughty and arrogant and a know-it-all, and this one's like pretty much the opposite. So.
Yeah, well, opposites attract, as they say.
And they might.
At least that's what a dancing woman and a cartoon cat taught me once.
Well, Abdul, if you'd like to be a
Showing-
sponsor, we'd love to have you.
We'll just have
Showing
you on the
your
show.
age, Adam.
Come on the show.
Yeah.
Paul Abdul.
Right? That
would be awesome.
Chuck's,
Paula
takes
Abdul
Chuck's
on
spots.
this would be, I think she would fit in great.
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
All right, you
Right,
guys
so-
are heading north.
Mm-hmm.
Heading north. Do we have a map or anything we're looking at, or are we just heading north?
There's a map in your journals on Roll20. If you'd like to be a sponsor, we'd love to have you.
Okay.
It would be called Post-Cataclysm Map of Ansalon.
Now, would anybody walking with us have this
Or
map?
what I would say is Anosalon is how I spelled it in there, but you get the idea. No, none of you would have an actual map of this. If you had a Kender, maybe. Now, actually, let's think about this. You do have a ranger in the party. Feldspar, do you have a...
It's all up here.
Okay, so no. But you'd be able to give him some idea
Talk
of where
about
you're
the
going.
new seed, all the crazy.
First of all, you can tell just by from where they've told you are. Since you're very familiar with these parts. You're
Yes.
familiar with Sylvanosti, you're familiar with Thorbarden, which you're a bit east of right now, north of Sylvanosti. The topography doesn't match up to what you remember. You would know, Michael, where it says the Ansalon map. That is the pre-cataclysmic map in your journal. You should have. That's where you think you are.
Yep. Night and day difference. Yep.
So it just kind of got split up a little bit. There are water where there used to be. There's well, do me a favor. Roll me a history check. How's your history?
Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? History, not my strongest subject.
I'm going to give you advantage though, because you've traveled a lot during, and this is in your backstory. I'm not just making this up. Istar is no longer there. And instead, there's a sea where Istar used to be.
Okay. It's all very strange.
Yeah.
You know, the constellations are changed. The star
And
the stars
missing.
are all
Forget about
everything.
just change. There are some that are just
Yeah, there's
outright
some
gone.
that are missing.
Yeah.
There's land is all changed. So I'll be definitely spending some time studying the stars a bit and.
And again,
figuring
a
out-
lot of you would also, because there aren't as many maps of the new Ansalon. So, for example, Gorel, when you guys went down to Tarsus looking for ships, it happened to be landlocked, and that's because it was so far south.
Right.
You hadn't been there, so you had no idea that in the last 300 years that became a landlocked city. So there's still a lot of the geography you don't know. The only one of you has really traveled, although let's talk to Gaz a little bit about Ventilus in a moment, but Feldspar has been around this area more than probably any of you. I don't know if you would have gone as far up as Kerr, but you tell me, Sedge. Kerr is kind of like a
Probably
desert
not.
land. Think of like the like Middle East type geography.
Yes, that sounds a bit hot for my taste.
Yeah. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, what were those guys with the horses?
Oh,
The Sands.
Dothraki.
The Dothraki, yeah.
Oh, the
That's
Dothraki. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, they. I feel like that was kind of taken a little bit. Well, I don't know how much George R.R. Martin played Dragonlance.
I'm
but-
going to say the answer is not 0.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
It's a non-zero amount.
And it's not a big area in the books. They don't really talk about too. I mean, in the main books, I'm sure there's some of the offshoot books. There's probably more in there. But the Dothraki are kind of like the Kerr people in many ways. But all right, you guys are heading north. Days pass. You're able to skirt your way around the Draconian and Dragon Army patrols for the sake of brevity. And you do make it to just a few miles out of Pashin. It is a... do me a favor, Sedge. Roll me D100 and give me higher and tell me high or low.
All right. I'll always high, always high. Where's my button? There's
7. Yeah, you've never been.
not high.
You've never been to this city before. You know where it is, certainly, but you're not a city guy, really.
Yeah, I just tend to stick to the woods.
Yeah, so you've never been inside. It's a glorified town, if we're honest with ourselves. It's not quite up to the city. It's a large town, and you do know from Deck, Vantillus's sprite friend there. Or is that Sprite? Is that what he is?
Yes.
That it is overrun by Dragon Army forces. You also know that in the northwestern side is where he found a area that might be conducive to sneaking in. So I'm assuming you're heading up in that direction.
I would think we would try to circle around towards that way.
All right. Considering this is 4 weeks in a row, my friend. I don't know where you were for one of those weeks, but we're here for. Give us credit where credit is due. By the way, we're not going to be here next week.
Only as much credit as we are due and no more.
Exactly. All right, yeah. So you're going to sort of circle around in a northwesterly curve. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow the group. They seem to know more about the area than I do these days. So.
Somebody roll me a survival.
I assume that's my department.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
It's a natural 20
Yeah,
for a
I've
total
been
of
here
26 for those of you watching and listening at home.
Nice.
Yeah, so you, like I said, you know exactly where this place is. You are able to move around. You guys, it's going to take extra time to get around because you're going to need to get around the armies. You do see the smoke and even smell it before you see it of campfires just around the town. There are quite a large number of forces here that it almost seems like they can't even fit in this town. But
Looks
you make
like
your way.
they're massing for some sort of attack from here.
Could be. Could be. Sorry about that. I forgot that I'll be playing NPC Ergrin until his untimely demise. And he has a heart attack and dies. right there.
Oh. So sorry.
Yep. No way to save him. No.
Oh, I mean, you know.
Well,
this
just
is
so
D&D, we
happens I can save him.
No, you
but-
can't. It's impossible.
Not from heart attack. No, heart attack is, yeah, that's it. Then.
Your god has abandoned you just for enough time for his body not to be able to be recycled, as it were. Speaking of, just a quick aside here, just on using the word recycled instead of revived. So my mother was in the hospital, was in rehab, and instead of saying that they are planning on discharging her on whatever date, my father, in a text message to the family, says that they're planning on discarding her next Saturday. I'm like, wow. Our healthcare system really is shit, isn't it, guys? It's nothing more we can do here. Kick her to the curb.
Yeah, that's it. Done.
All right. Yeah, Sidran says paid you enough to kill him anyway. I know, but Sidran, is it... I could kill him at any moment. Is it going to be as fun with Will not here? We need to get Will back to kill him, I feel like. Don't you agree? and put it in the chat.
Yes.
You have given us quite a bit of cash keeping this thing running and keeping him. Okay. Plus, I feel like I'm a much more fun in Urgrin than Will was. I say this. I thought Will did a great job with Urgrin. I thought he was such an asshole that I enjoyed. That was the only character I think of Wilson I've ever liked.
Oh, come on. Let's give some respect for Linus.
Linus was good. Linus didn't last long enough, though. He was only for, I think, 4 sessions, maybe 5. If not.
Early on.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he had an oversized impact
He did.
for his size.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yikes. Short joke.
Oversized impact.
He was the people's favorite.
There you go.
A black dragon acid bath would be awesome. All right, well, I'll keep that in mind for when Will comes back and is playing Urgrin. The minute he comes back. Okay.
You're literally going to have Will on for 1 minute.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Will. And you're
Hope
off.
you got your hiatus.
Okay. So, with that roll, we're saying you're able to get to this spot. I'm going to show you a map, and I will put it up here for those of you watching at home. Bear with me as I find it. Oh, Pashin Street. Nice and easy. All right. All right, so this is the area that you see. You are off to the west. This tiny area here seems to be, do you see over here on the northwestern side? You see there's, and I'm sure you have Deck scout this out as you're fucking around. But there are some Draconians in each of the other areas. There is a patrol of humans, a combination of Dragon Army and mercenaries that are walking south here. You see just some hobgoblins walking west down below. There is a hill giant and some ogres that are just sort of sitting in the middle of everything, having a late night snack. Again, it is evening. It is at this point probably, well, we've gone through a few days, but pick a time you would have gotten here, and that's when we are. Twilight. Okay. You do have a bunch of hobgoblins sort of camping out in this backyard over here. And again, some Boz Draconians just sort of on guard.
I'm sorry, who are these people over here?
Oh, those are just some pedestrians that live in this city.
Yes, people under the thumb of the Dragon Army current.
Yes.
Under the protection of the Dragon Army.
Sure, the protection.
Yeah,
Yes.
however you want to call it. And you guys, like I said, are off screen. And that little road there to the northwest. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry. That road to the northwest, you're sort of off somewhere west of that.
All right. So.
Well, I'm not sure why we would want to involve ourselves with any of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, is
What's
there
the goal
anything
here?
of value here? If not, we should just move along. Intelligence-wise, is there something here?
I mean, do we? I don't know of any intelligence we need to get. We know that our goal right now is to get up to the capital Kerr, and this is certainly not that. Unless we desperately need some supplies, which I don't think we're.
No. I mean, I can use my familiar who's a squirrel, Twaddle, and just send him around town a little bit, seeing if there's anything interesting. I mean, I doubt a squirrel would be noticed by any of these entities.
I mean, except possibly as like a little snack.
Right.
It might be a little dangerous for a squirrel running around. This
Run
place.
away, and I mean, I could do that. Just give a quick little scout with the familiar.
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Deck
yeah,
can do the
that.
same from the air, so we can go
yeah.
get 2 ground level and aerial recon.
So yeah, I'll just enter my squirrel senses and just kind of run around doing squirrel-like things, mostly as I just dart from place to place, running up things, down things, collecting random things and moving them around.
Okay.
And at the same time, you know, listening in on, you know, anybody's conversation or things like that.
Sure. And Deck is doing roughly the same type of business, right? Is Deck invisible?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, what?
Is Deck invisible?
Yeah. He would be identifying, you know, anybody that looks like they're in charge of any groups, and then, you know, kind of getting close enough to see if there's any conversations or anything going on.
Okay. Yeah, so let's start with the squirrel. And this is just one section of the town. It does go further east and south.
Sure.
About how much of the town are we seeing, like, on this battle map?
You're seeing less than a quarter of it.
Okay, but around that, though?
Around a quarter. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So not a big place.
No, and this is sort of the outskirts of the town as well. So the further to the center you go, the more compact it is with houses and buildings and shops and such.
Oh,
Less
these are the
likely
nice,
to
expansive suburbs.
Yeah, exactly.
McMansions around here.
Yes. So, and you can look and hear through your familiar's plural.
Eyes and ears, yeah.
Okay.
Takes the place of my own.
And how about you, Gary?
I don't need it to take the place of my own, I don't think. Let me check. Yeah, it doesn't replace my own. But I can communicate telepathically and perceive through their senses as long as I'm on the same plane of existence.
Okay.
We
Which you
walk
are.
I can
around
also,
the same existence.
I can also have
Goodness.
it speak in my voice if I want.
All right, that'll be fun. All right, so squirrel, roll me. What? What's it? Twaddle.
Twaddle.
Sorry, twaddle.
Waddling along.
Yes.
Roll me your perception and tell me where are you going. Like, are you starting from this little area around here? I'm guessing.
I mean, I'm starting wherever would make the most sense for it to enter from. I'm not going to skirt around or anything. So wherever direction we are from this place.
Right. So that would be through this northwestern entrance here.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just coming in over there and kind of darting around a little bit. I see this group down to the south down there, so I'd probably start working my way that way, stopping at the bushes,
Okay.
climbing up a pole on this fence, and just kind of looking around and running down all of a sudden for no apparent reason, and then darting over to the next pole and climbing it, and then darting down to the bush, collecting whatever random seed or food-like object I might see, and stuffing it in my cheek,
Sure.
and just
There
darting
are
to the
2
next
acorns
fence
and
post
a human
and-
finger.
Yeah, I just grab them all. Yeah,
Yeah.
dart to the next fence post, and so it would be kind of in the middle of of that group by then, and I'm really trying to listen to see what they're talking about, kind of inspecting them, checking out their, what are they doing, what are the, what kind of weapons do they have, that kind of intelligence.
Sure. So they are, it looks like, again, a group of mercenaries intermingled with a few actual infantrymen from the Green Dragon Army, from what you can tell. And they're just chit-chatting. Some of them, they're mundane weapons. Really just swords, short swords, long swords, nothing too fancy. And this group here, a couple of them have bows and arrows, daggers, that kind of thing. And they're walking through and grumbling and complaining about having to continue this this late night watch, and they don't know what they did to make the captain mad to give them this. This should be a goblin watch, if anything, and nobody really comes up here anyway. That's what they're talking about.
Okay. Obviously not going to interact or anything. So I think
Squirrel just runs up, slaps one across the face.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them does have speak with animals and decides to talk to the squirrel, and it gets a side adventure that he wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, it's so if that's what I'm getting, I kind of just as soon as it looks opportune, I'll just dart across the pathway there to those flowers, those orange flowers there, and
so keep going south.
kind of just peek around them a little bit as if I'm looking for food or what, just basically trying to absolutely be a squirrel. And then get myself across over to these goblins over to the east over there, who apparently they should be on the watch and
Yeah, they're actually walking toward you as you're heading toward them.
Okay, so and I stop here and there as I go. It's not just I'm not making a straight beeline to them. It's a zigzag type of deal.
Yeah, you hear them talking about the fact that, and they are in green dragon army regalia as well, but hear them talking about a red dragon leader named Toad that they really seem pretty proud of, and wish that they were part of his army instead of this. Hold on one second.
That's a name I've actually heard recently. So
yeah, instead of they said instead of Salah Khan.
which is not a name I've heard recently. So yeah, then I'll just kind of keep on my little tour, head up to the north then, and just check out those ogres.
Yeah, they're just eating. Well, roll me a perception check.
Try not to get too close to the ogres, because 9.
Hard to tell what they're eating, but they're eating some sort of game of some kind, you would imagine.
Probably nothing I want. And I'll circle back around to those human-esque looking people.
All right, you hear the humans talking about, whispering as they're heading back to their homes that it has to get better soon. We just need to keep doing what they tell us to do. We just need to keep working, and eventually they'll move on. Just one day they were here and we were surprised, and one day they'll be gone and we'll be surprised. I hear they're mostly moving north toward Kerr anyway, and you hear a woman respond. It's like, but there's been so much death already, and I know they say that they've captured the children, but and are holding them safe just to keep us in line. But what if that's not true? What if they've killed? And the man stops her and says, "Don't think that way. They're fine. I promise you, they're fine."
Okay.
Boy.
Okay, so the only one who knows this so far is
Stonemoss.
Stonemoss,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so learning this, I'm gonna go start poking around and trying to peer into windows here and there. I mean, a squirrel can pretty much climb straight up any of these stone structures,
Yeah,
so
but we are going to then cut to Deck first before you do that. Deck, where are you going to head? Since he's been squirreling around this area.
So yeah, which direction was
He sort of
the
went. He
squirrel?
sort of looped around this map.
Yeah.
So basically, you can head in toward, and he'd have an easier time because he can fly. Toward like the center of town.
Yeah,
toward,
he would head in towards the center of town, looking for the most, either the best dressed, or most, or someone who looks like they're talking and commanding attention.
Sure. It seems like, and again, at this time of night, it's a lot of the same. You see a lot of humans, mercenary looking, goblins and hobgoblins, some draconians, although again, a lot of them seem to be on guard duty and lookout duty. And there's a tavern called the Five Dragon Inn which is almost in the center of this town. That seems to be where most of the officers seem to be, and it's a combination of human, draconian, and also some hobgoblin officers seem to be there. And there's also a number of lower ranking but still officer types outside, which is what draws his attention to begin with, sort of hanging out outside of the tavern.
Yeah, he would head right into there, if he had not seen anyone looking important enough before that point.
Yeah, so you head inside and you do see that there are a number of and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head here because I can't do two things at once without my computer fucking up. There's 4 or 5. I think there's 5, but human officers. There is a Civac. There's a couple of Bozak Draconians. And there are some humans and hobgoblins up at the bar. The ones, like the humans that are the officers, are sitting at a table in the sort of the southwestern part of the tavern. Over on the eastern side, or where the few draconians are, hobgoblins at the bar, and again a couple of other. It looks like mercenary humans are at the sort of the on the side of the bar standing. There is a human bartender who does not bear any symbols or regalia of the dragon armies at all. Most of them are drunk, or at least on their way to being so. They are talking about the humans. Really, it's the officers sitting at that table in the southwest corner that really catches attention.
That's where you would hit.
Yeah, they are talking about the situation in Sylvanesty, and now that the dragon has left, which you can only imagine is a Cyan Bloodbane, that Salah Khan is bringing them back to Kerr, at least most of the forces. They're leaving some here, and some around Sylvanesty, but they figure that since the area has been so destroyed and twisted, that they don't figure the elves are going to make their way back anytime soon, and they're going to try to consolidate their forces in Kerr.
Good to know. Yep. I mean, after hearing that, if there's nothing else that it seems like they're important coming out of them, Deck would just move on.
Okay.
Check all. He would go hang out for a few minutes by all of the different groups in the bar of the officers. So like the hobgoblins by the bar and the draconians off to the side as well.
Sure. The Bozak draconians. The Sivak is kind of sitting off by himself, and quietly drinking. He is going over some paperwork.
Take a look at the paperwork if it's easy to do so.
Roll me a perception check.
We just had a sprite up here.
Still rolling. Still.
Wait
Yeah,
for
whatever.
it.
I thought I could just roll it from the sprite page, but I cannot. I have to whatever. So this is +3.
So 7.
7.
Hard to make out, and I also don't know that he can read Draconic,
Fair enough.
which is probably why it's so difficult to read. The other two, Bozak, are really just discussing wanting to get back to Kerr. That they, can't stand the sight of elves and humans in this area. They don't know why they want these elves. Why it's more profitable to bring an elf in alive versus dead. As far as they're concerned, the only good elf is a dead elf. That's what they're discussing.
So it sounds like they're discussing holding elves captive.
It could. That you can
Yeah,
certainly infer.
so
that,
he's going to
yes.
stay and see if he can hear anything else.
We know there's
that
a reward offered for elves capture.
might indicate where that there are elves being held in this town and where.
All right. Let's give it because they are drunk. Let's see if this happens to come out. Roll me a percentile, and you give me high or low.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 20%.
High. Yeah.
83. All right.
Nice.
They, in fact, there is a place that they are being held, and it happens to be within the stables in this very tavern. And with that, we are going to take our break.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Because I got to put some people in the stables. Thank you,
We
ladies.
didn't go that fast, did you?
Yeah, I did not think he
Oh,
was going
boy.
to get that. Thank you, lady. I thought we would have more time by exploring more in this tavern, but you guys and your goddamn familiars and whatnot. But that's all right. We're moving things along.
I think this is the first time I've actually remembered to use a familiar on a regular basis
Fair enough.
in my entire life of playing D&D.
Oh boy.
They are useful when you remember they exist.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you for hanging out with us on D&D Fridays, where Atomic Peanut Butter presents DragonLance: Dragons of Faith, Part 4. We're gonna take just a quick break. I say that. There's really no rhyme or reason for how long our breaks are. We'll be back when we're back. So don't go anywhere, because you don't want to miss what's coming up next. I don't even know what's coming up next. That's the fun part. We'll be right back.
to Eberron. What?
We'd lose most of our audience. And we are back. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Atomic Peanut Butter Presents Dragonlance: Dragons of Faith, Part 4. And for Sero Sen Games in chat asking, does this table really play in Eberron? I'm going to pass that on to Gary. Gaz is the DM for Eberron: Morgrave Mythos. Although now we are in...
Now it's Ravenloft Morgrave Morning?
Yeah, I guess. But
Morgrave,
are we ever going to get back to playing that?
Morning Mists is what we were going with. Ravenloft Morning Mists. Yes, we have an ongoing campaign which has been on an unexpected hiatus for a little while now due to some job changes and past changes, and which we will hopefully be going back to sometime soon, but I don't have anything more specific than
you
that.
can check out, though, the original, or the first 13 or 14 or 15 or how many episodes we did on both YouTube / Atomic Peanut Butter Group, Rave Baron, Chris Andrews.
Rave Baron, yeah. Absolutely. I'm getting my glow sticks out.
Yeah. And also, anyways, by looking for it's on its own playlist, Eberron: Morgrave Mythos, and then also by searching for Eberron: Morgrave Mythos and Atomic Peanut Butter Podcast, or any one of those words probably will get you to there. It's only on Spotify. I think there's some other small ones, but I know it's on Spotify. So if you do have Spotify, check that out on podcast. But here we're playing Dragonlance. Sorry. We'll talk about another setting that I don't really know a lot about is Eberron, even though I played 13 to 15 sessions of it. I'm learning more about it. But
It's a fun setting.
all the settings are fun, I find. Like I've in the settings that I've played, and I haven't played in every setting yet, but the settings I played, I've had fun. And Forgotten Realms is fun. Greyhawk, we were just talking about on break, was fun. I'm a Dragonlance guy, man, so I certainly in our 40th anniversary of Dragonlance, I would take Dragonlance over some of the other settings, but I have fun in playing any one of them.
You know what I want is let's do a Dark Sun game sometime soon. That's
I've
really
never
what
done
I'd
a
like
Dark
to get
Sun
back
game,
to.
yeah.
What's the Dark Sun? I don't know that one.
Oh man, that's like the weird
I
post-apocalyptic
played a video
cannibal
game on
halfling
Dragonlance.
one.
I'm like, was that on like I don't remember if it was on the Commodore 64 or if that was on like the IBM. What was that on?
I think that was early IBM days. That was like 386, 46
That was
days.
that was a
fun.
cool game. Chris Andrews, by the way, cheered 100 to me. Dragonlance is the best. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
I'll tell you what, the
Yay.
Dragonlance is the best. I mean, the setting I think is very well thought out. But the books to me are what make it the best. Like the characters and the way that they flesh out the whole backstory of the setting and really create the setting through those books and those characters is great. For me, like reading it when I was a teenager, way too many years ago, it reminded me of like a fantasy Star Wars almost, right? Because you have like this ragtag group of heroes that weren't really ready or expecting to be heroes, but kind of just did what they needed to do. They were flawed, they were interesting, they all were very different, even though there was a million different characters, and I'm exaggerating obviously a bit for effect. So for me, man, Dragonlance far and away outweighs everything else, and I love the idea of like the way that they have the gods sort of interacting, either interacting or not interacting, depending on how pissed off they are with the mortals and what they've done. So the Cataclysm stuff is cool. When we're done with this, which will be like 6 years, even though we only, I think, have 2.5 modules left, I am trying to work on some sort of Legends type of secondary adventures, a sequel
Nice.
to this.
Time of the Twins, Test of the Twins.
Exactly, yeah. Which is
Yeah.
Gary's favorite, I know.
My favorite of the Dragonlance, but I was going to say to you what you were saying about the interaction of the gods is why I actually really fell in love with Forgotten Realms, because of the trilogy of novels around the Time of Troubles, I think it's called, the when the gods became human and all that stuff. Starting with the novel Waterdeep, and it was, the story of three normal people essentially ending up becoming gods and betraying each other, and one of them dies, and but Kelemvor and Cyric and Midnight Mistra, the three of the gods of Forgotten Realms, were humans at the beginning of that story.
That actually does sound
And
pretty
it was
cool.
a
I should
great
read
trilogy
those.
of novels.
Although I have a hard time, I think I'll have a hard time reading a book called Waterdeep that doesn't have any mention of a Covington in it.
We can write him in. You can write a Covington in there.
You can imagine that unnamed NPC walking down the street is a Covington.
The Covington,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Covingtons need
They're
a
all
lot
over.
more face
Covingtons
time
everywhere.
and screen time than that.
When are we going to do that Oops All Covingtons campaign?
That's pretty much our Sunday game. We should do one where everyone's a Covington. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That is a lineage I've been working on since college. A bunch of rich people who just get into adventuring because they've got the money. So,
And nothing better to do, apparently.
yeah.
only
Some
time
turn
you
into
don't play one,
heroes,
you die
others
horribly.
not so much. What was that said? Sorry.
Yeah, the
The
idle
only time you
rich.
don't play a Covington is you die horribly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's bad news whenever I don't play a Covington. Actually, though I did die with one Covington in our last game when I was but he wasn't one of the rich ones. He was a druid Covington.
What do you mean?
Oh,
You died
yeah.
with a Covington the first game we ever played.
Well, that's true. But that was the original set. I haven't even introduced Talon Covington to this group yet. I'm waiting for the right moment. But anyway, we digress. Let's get back to this. You guys are in or around the town of Pashin, in just north of Sylvanesty, about a little southwest of Kur, east of the Thorbarden Mountains. And this town has been taken over by the Green Dragon armies. They are holding elves here hostage. And it seems that they've also taken the children of the townspeople to sort of keep them in line, it seems like.
So as soon as Deck overhears the captives, I immediately say, they're holding some people captive, and it sounds like some of them want to kill them now. We may need to intervene.
I'm in. What's the plan?
Well, they're
Do
in
we
the
know where they
tavern.
are?
Yes, they're being held in the stables in the tavern, which is towards the center of the tavern.
Girl perks up tavern.
So,
What? Tavern? We're going to the
Yes.
tavern?
now you're telling me here that we got to mosey into the center of town full of all these dragon folk, save some elves, and then mosey back on out?
Well, that would be the ideal thing, yes.
Fucking A, dude. Now I totally turned into what was that guy?
I like your enthusiasm.
What is his name? Sam Elliott. I totally turned into Sam Elliott from The Big Lebowski with that one right there. I was.
Okay, so welcome edition.
Yeah. I don't even know I can do a Sam Elliott impression until I try to do an Urquhart impression and it just slips into it. So,
All right. So these
one thing to thank Will for is me learning that I can do a Sam Elliott impression halfway.
There you go. There you go. All right. So these groups that we're seeing on the map here, are they like patrolling? I know you said the giants are just hanging out in the middle there.
The humans and the goblins are patrolling. The
Okay.
draconians are, and basically, for the sake of time and map making, you can enter in various ways into the town. There will be similar, if not exactly the same, situations here, where you have, again, draconians on guard, hobgoblin captains. Again, it is late, so they're just sort of hanging out, eating and drinking. You've got these the half giant and the 2 ogres. There are goblins, and there are the mercenaries and guards of infantrymen, I guess I probably better word for them, of the draconian armies. So you'll have to find a way around or through some, if not all, of these types of groups, if you were to make your way into the center of town.
Okay.
And before we try to get all of us into the center of town, well, once I find that, Deck would go and just reconnoiter the actual stables and see if how they're being guarded and how secured these hostages appear to be.
That's a great point, because I put and I'm going to put you on this map, I put them in the stables, but I forgot to guard them. So let's add.
Nice.
I was
all right,
trying
Deck,
to
just go rescue them.
Hold on, no, we're going to have a few guys here. Let's find some. Now again, this is a town that is overrun with green dragon forces.
Maybe you could do that fire trick you like so much. Set something on fire for a distraction.
That would be good. Like on the opposite side of town.
Or I could get us a fog cloud to blend in with the smoke, and we could just walk in.
Ooh.
That's a
Can
good
we do
plan.
both? Can we do both?
Yeah.
Set a fire on the opposite side of town and have the fog cover us? So they're blind and confused?
Yeah. The fire may need to be nearby, so with the fog cloud, it just looks like more smoke.
Gotcha. Okay. Not too nearby, though. Can we
Well,
do
a
that?
couple buildings away, so it doesn't spread to the stables.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Is that possible?
Now, did you see the children in the stables too?
No.
Oh, we haven't seen them yet.
Wait.
Okay.
Children.
We just...
Yes, I
There are children?
overheard some humans discussing how their children have been taken by these creatures, and either the children are they're concerned either being held or perhaps deceased, but we need to confirm.
So
And I was
don't
hoping-
light random buildings on fire, you're saying.
Yes, there could potentially could be children in some of these buildings that are being held hostage.
Yes, we should know where they are holding them before setting anything on fire.
Well, yeah, I mean, you send the girls, like, send your furry little buddy and check out the building, and then we'll set it on fire. Yes? No?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely reconnoiter first, for sure.
Yes, definitely. All right.
All right, so just to paint the picture for those who can't see the map, which is everybody, let me change that.
Yeah,
for
we
those
can't
of you
see the
watching.
map.
You really?
Oh, we can see the map. I got
Yeah,
I
moved
can
you
see
over
the
there.
map.
my
Okay.
character sheet was in the way.
Thought I moved you over. Okay,
Yeah.
so you see outside the entrance to the tavern, you got a few draconians, you got a couple of baz, which are chumps. You got a few civacs, or 3 civacs, which are no joke. You see inside, you've got 2 bozaks sitting at a table drinking. You have the civac writing. You have at the bar to the north 3 hobgoblins drinking. There's 3 mercenaries also at the bar, humans, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 higher level officers sitting at a table. They seem to be probably the ones running the show here in town. Deck is able to see through windows, probably. Just because this fog of war thing annoys me, so I'm never going to bother doing it. But outside the door to the stables, there are 3 mercenaries, which shouldn't be an issue. Inside, there is a Draconian Dreadnought, which is one of the few times that I'm going to use one of the WotC ones, just because I think it's cool to have a giant Draconian. And guarding the door from the inn part are a few goblins.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But no children.
You do not see any children
Yeah.
here now.
After scouting that, then Deck would immediately look for any other buildings nearby that look like they are under guard.
Roll me a perception check.
I continue searching as well with my squirrel, Twaddle.
Sure, roll me a perception check, Twaddle.
7.
Yep,
7's the number of the night.
it is. Ah, I have Kemchan and Cedric in the wrong spots. Once
Tonight's show
again,
brought to you by. Sorry, go ahead.
We could still be the same person.
it's possible.
Not clear
We-
yet.
They're almost identical.
Yeah, you really it's an uncanny resemblance.
There it is, perception. All that for 13.
Not bad.
Yeah, hard to tell. Twaddle. And you have no idea, Deck. You're kind of focused on the elves here. But again, because there are so many of these forces here, it's hard to tell what's being guarded versus what they're just hanging around. Like even those mercenaries out front of the door, they don't seem to be like they're on high alert, right? I mean, they're just
Right.
in front of
And it's the
doors
end of the
talking.
day, right?
It's
And
in the evening.
end of the day.
Yeah.
So they're all probably tired anyway.
So yeah, and they're on the late shift, obviously, but again, it's no one is seemingly feels like they're going or could be under attack, right? Like they're the townsfolk themselves are not really going to be considered a obstacle for these Draconians. So it's not like they're expecting somebody to come in and fuck them up.
Well, maybe we could make them an obstacle for the Draconians. Maybe we could talk to the ones that we overheard talking about their children and get them involved to make the distraction.
Anybody ever watch Three Amigos?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Why, for some, reading is our El Guapo.
For us, the actual El Guapo is El Guapo.
Oh, that was one of the funniest movies ever made. I'll fill you so full of lead you could use your dick as a pencil. What do you mean by that? I don't know.
Alrighty. I've yet to see that movie.
Oh, what's wrong
Don't
with
spoil
you?
it. Spoilers. Spoilers.
It's so good.
Oh.
That poor invisible man.
Yeah.
I think I went to something else that
Oh.
weekend and haven't had a
The
chance
insist-
since. So
The invisible swordsman got done dirty.
That was so good.
This must be the singing bush.
Mhm.
Do you
Well,
know
so
what nada means, amigos? Isn't that a light chicken gravy?
Well, we don't know where these children are, so
Still don't know where the children are. Okay.
our reconnoiter, we can probably free these elves. Maybe they know where the children are.
Well,
How?
Again,
what
maybe
is
those
the-
parents know where the children are.
Well, they seemed that they had no idea. They were concerned that they might be dead.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So they really have. They're just holding out hope that they're not. So they really have no idea. What is this inn made of? The stable
Dreams.
parts, specifically.
Wood?
I'm gonna go with wood too.
yes.
So we could conceivably go outside the walls and just start
And-
prying the walls apart and freeing the slaves from the or the elves from the outside.
Oh, just make a hole in the back wall. I like that idea.
Just make a hole in the back wall and
Yeah.
and just start working our way, forward.
Wait, is there some? Can we like magic a hole in the back wall? Let's see. Anybody?
Fortunately, no. I was just triple checking that, and I don't have a thing that would do that. But
Yeah, neither do I.
There's
Unfortunately,
a hole in the prison, dear elves, dear elves.
Now that would be wonderful. Well, fix it, dear Draconian, dear Draconian.
Mhm.
But I do have, faith that we can pop a few boards out. After all, this was not made to contain prisoners. It was made to keep animals in who aren't all that clever
Right.
as far as
Fair enough.
They don't know how to use hammers, horses.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw one that did. It's pretty cool.
I heard about one that talked, but I
Yeah.
don't
That
believe
sounds
it.
incredible.
Yeah. And it would only talk to one knight in particular.
Mm,
And it wouldn't talk to anybody else except for this Squire Knight, so
And
kind
he
of
had been,
unbelievable.
and then he had been kicked in the head by a horse. hadn't he? Yeah. So. Okay. And then Gorel just picks up his war mallet. It's like, oh, we need to make a hole in something.
Mm-hmm.
He just starts tapping it on his hand.
Yeah, I mean, back in the backside where there's tree cover, where there's...
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
back in the
there,
corner
yeah.
where we're not going into the main thing.
Don't
so it might
ignore
still
the
be-
ignore the tree cover, because again, this is not an area that's full of trees. If you remember,
I
earlier.
think we're still going to need that.
This
smoke
is
screen.
a inn that I happen to already have that you guys have been in before, in a different city altogether with different characters that we're reusing.
That's actually just a little landscaping.
Yeah,
There's no real trees
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
Right. It's a shrubbery.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, we can
Okay.
still pry the boards out. We just need that smoke screen we talked about.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we need a fire to hide
But
the
not
smoke
where the
screen,
children are.
But not where the children are.
Bitter first.
Let's just set some shrubbery aflame and have the.
Here's a question though. We can probably tell a building that definitely does not have the children in it. Something that is, has a bunch of the dragon armies that is clearly like a barracks or a place they're sleeping or something like that. Even like a little shed or an outhouse would
Right.
be a good thing to set on fire.
Girl's just like,
I wonder,
outhouse smoke. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no foul, but effective.
True.
I'm gonna
How but
consult...
effective
Okay.
that Gary has.
Is that like
story.
silent deadly or...
A memoir.
Foul but effective. Adam's title of Adam's sex tape.
Well, effective. Rated X.
All right. Okay. Yes. So we still don't know exactly where the children are, but if we set something on a building on fire that we know there are no children are, that would be good. Okay. Is that what we're going with? Is that where
Sure.
we're at now?
Plan
Okay.
A for arson. Let's do it.
Okay. Yes. All we need
Then we
now is
move
a
on to
kin-
plan B for boards.
we just need a kinder with like who's like a couple of flints in the corner, just sparking them and staring into the sparks. That's all we need.
So-
Okay.
So let me get this straight. This is the plan here. Okay, we're gonna find a shitter or a shed, light it on fire,
Mm-hmm.
somehow prop boards out of the back of the with a hammer or whatever. I'm sure we can do it.
What do you mean somehow?
I didn't mean it to mean that it was going to be that difficult a task. I mean, we fought fucking dragons, so I'm assuming we can get a couple of boards off the back of a barn.
Crowbar him, yep.
Get out all them elves, and then go where?
Not here.
Don't we have to
'Cause,
try?
From what I can remember, Chris Andrews says, "Shitter or Shed," the new family board game by Hasbro.
If you'd like to be a sponsor, we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have it.
That title is trademarked.
Yeah, we've already trademarked the title.
Yeah, that's ours
We
now.
can work out.
We are more than willing to license it, though.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We can be
It
bought
sounds-
very cheaply. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Sounds like a really, really bad college drinking game.
Yeah.
And it could be.
Should
For the
or
low
shed?
price of-
Yeah.
Find out.
let's say $5.
Oh, come on.
All right, $5.50.
There you
Perfect.
go.
So I couldn't help but notice that y'all said that this place is crawling with bad guys.
Yep.
Yes.
So
What the smoke screen's for.
how's that smoke screen work? I reckon, or I wonder. I guess I don't know why I said reckon. I just do that because of my accent.
Good question. Well, we set the thing on fire, creates a big smoke cloud, and
Right.
then I can whip up a fog cloud to blend in with the smoke,
And
and we can hide in that and get up to the building. And that's as far as my plan goes.
Okay.
The escape part, you might have a point about where we go after that. But
Well, I think.
Like I have no
if-
doubt we can get him out of this here barn.
Right. But here's the thing. He's right. Like, what do we do with all these children afterwards?
We haven't even found the children yet. I'm talking.
Yeah,
about
well,
the
okay,
elves.
but
No, I know.
so
I know.
so the elves. This is a bunch of able-bodied elves, right?
I mean,
This is a bunch of.
they
If
are
they're not
in the
children,
best
we've already
condition.
determined they're not.
right.
Children.
I mean, they are
Right.
sleep deprived, dehydrated, hungry. So I mean, yeah, they
Sure.
can. Yeah, they. I mean, they're they're not in tip-top fighting shape, but
I'm not saying they're like the elite of the elven army here, but you put a weapon in their hands and they're going to be able to do something with it.
how many weapons?
Generally,
Yes.
right?
We'll
Oh,
get our
I mean,
crazy
even if
armory.
makeshift weapons.
All right. So this is what
yeah,
we
we're gonna have plenty of boards left over.
Just hand them all boards.
With the nail.
Hey,
the nail
pretend this is
sticking
a
through it.
sword, would you?
They come out out of the hole, hand them one of the boards.
Hand him a board. Tell him to use the pointy part of the nail coming through the
That's
board.
right.
There you go.
Keep the nails at the end of the boards.
So we actually have two objectives: free the children, free the elves.
Mhm.
Find the children, free the children.
Find the children,
free the
free the
elves.
children, free the elves.
Save the cheerleaders, save the world.
Save the world.
That show got
If
bad
we-
fast. Anybody watch that?
No.
Yeah.
First
bad,
couple
real bad.
episodes were pretty
The last-
good, and then fell off
last
the face of the...
The last season was.
You got to the last
So bad.
season.
Well,
that
the
during that
writer's
writer's
strike
strike?
really
There was a writer's strike that
killed
stopped
Heroes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What show?
Hero?
Heroes.
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 The,
Oh,
the
God,
old one. Yeah.
No, I saw an
Anyway.
episode.
The first two seasons should have been just renamed X-Men and be,
Yeah.
but okay, so what if and girls just Throwing ideas out here.
Uh-oh, he's thinking.
Well, you wait long enough, the fire gets hot enough, and the water boils.
He's been coming up with this plan since episode 1.
What if we free the elves? The dragon army is still going to threaten them with the safety of their children. So what we need to do is simultaneously free the elves and free the elves. So. What I'm suggesting is we split the party.
Always a good idea.
I am totally into this. I mean,
Hey, you know what? This is a wonderful opportunity to kill off one of these NPCs.
Yeah. Chuck and the
All the
NPCs go
NPCs.
one way. The rest of you.
Come back next time with the casualty report.
Yeah.
Yes? No? Yes? What?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. We need to do it simultaneously, which means we need to redouble our efforts to find the children, so send out our familiars until we discover them, no matter how long it takes.
Exactly. And then with that, Burrell lays down under a tree and says, let me know when you find that out.
So yeah, I'll start working the...
Felspar shrugs and lays down next to it.
I'll start working the squirrel network.
This is a familiar work. Yeah.
Chatting up the rabbits.
There you go.
Yeah, and Deck's gonna start checking house by house.
Yeah.
All right.
Literally, just start crawling up ring in every window.
Each of you roll me a perception check.
Each of us?
No, just the two who have familiar.
Do it methodically
okay.
so that, eventually we'll find something.
Natural 1.
17.
Oh my God.
Deck finds nothing, but Deck is also up in the air. The squirrel.
I think Deck got bored at this point, and he's just kind of flying off,
wandered
and
off.
doing his own thing because he rolled I rolled a 1.
I'll meet you in Kerr, you shitheads.
Pretty much.
I just forgot how Deck talked. Was that how we talked?
That was close enough.
I
Yeah.
thought he was a
something
pimp.
similar.
Yeah.
I thought he was a pip.
It's his sprite, not an imp.
In a purple suit.
With a fur coat.
He does wear a nice little fur stole.
Or stole. But the stole is leopard print.
All right. However, Tookus, what's the what's
Waddle.
Twaddle?
T. Waddle.
Yeah,
Waddle
T.
gets his
Waddle
tuchus over there.
is his rap name. He actually does find where the children are located, and there are, we'll say, 7 children.
Anywhere near the elves?
Nope.
Of course not. So yeah, I guess letting the party.
They are back in the basement of one of the structures near where you guys are currently.
Okay, so they're closer to us.
So they could. But how well are they guarded?
You know that? Remember where all those hobgoblins were sitting?
Yep.
That's where they are.
So not very well. They're all like clustered together in one group. A couple
Correct.
area effect spells could wipe that whole area out.
Yeah.
But then there's all the others.
They're fine. I'm sure you can take the entire town.
The entire town, no problem.
Yeah. Silver Fox, I am not.
Oh,
Or whatever that character's name was.
it was Silver Wolf.
Silver Wolf.
Yeah, he couldn't do it either. Go back and listen to Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. I think there actually is a podcast. If you search for Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. But you can also find those early videos. That was our first D&D stream man, what was that? 6 years ago? 7 years ago, Michael?
Probably, yeah.
Where we played in our Greyhawk. Well, that was the beginning of our Greyhawk Adventures campaign, simply called Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, where my character Silverwolf was decided to take on an entire city of what were they? Ogres, orcs, probably.
I don't remember anymore. I just remember getting the hell out of there because it was way too many for.
My goal was to distract so some of the slaves could be freed, and Will refused to have any of them move. Now, I could have been annoyed that he didn't even roll to see if any would try to flee, and I could have saved some, and I could have quit that game very easily, but I didn't. In fact, I stayed through 3 other seasons of Greyhawk games with Will as the DM. Because I didn't expect everything to go my way. I love you, Will.
Please come back. I was wrong.
Anyway, that was a good episode, though. You should check that out. That was a good. I thought that whole season I thought was good.
That's where I played Ash, the cleric who could talk to ghosts, and seemed to have a lot of them.
Yep.
A lot of dead people.
Yeah,
Apparently, you just have this thing about characters talking to themselves, Mike.
I do. Yeah. I just kind of mimic real life that way.
Yeah, it's just easier that way, is to pretend he's playing a character. Lord Forth mentions in chat, now if you kill off the children, the Draconians lose control of the townspeople.
You know, I had
that
a
is a
character
valid
who would have
point.
done that.
That
If
is
we were
one
all
way to look at it.
psychopaths.
Yeah.
Three Toes would have done that in a heartbeat without thought.
Yes, that was another Greyhawk.
Luckily, we are not apparently all psychopaths, so
Yeah.
I don't think we're going that route.
Probably not, no. This character, absolutely not. That character, without even questioning, it said, this is the house we set on fire, it's right here.
All right, so did we find out where the kids were?
You did.
Yep,
You
in
did.
that
We did,
first
we
map
did.
there, right near us,
Okay.
where all of
Okay.
the hobgoblins were.
We'll
So,
just pick them up on our way
Bromodan
out.
says that's not what the innocent people on the ship think.
yeah, that's
You
true.
should say thought, because
I
they're
don't know.
all
I don't know
dead.
anything about that.
We don't know anything about that.
No,
That's
yeah.
right. We've been on the land
This is
entire
a
time.
much more heroic group so far than the other.
Yeah.
Also, I doubly don't know anything about that because my character was, well, rather conveniently not there for that.
Yes, and
That's true.
yeah, well, you had 3 characters who weren't on that ship at that
Who were
time.
not there for that.
Plausible deniability all the way around.
Yeah.
All right, so what's...
So yeah, we should send, a couple of people, obviously the smaller group, to head back over to where the elves are for the prying of the boards, and the larger group to to figure out getting the children rescued, I would think.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Yeah,
let's take stock of who we have. Besides the player characters, Vantellis, Gorell, Stone Moss, and Feldspar, we have a shit ton of fucking other people. We have 2 clerics, Elliston and Ergrin. We have Burke, which is another cleric. So 3 clerics. The other group couldn't buy themselves a hit point.
Three clerics in Dragonlance?
There are 3.
This is not right.
Yeah, there are 4 clerics total in this world. 3 of them are here. The other's
Yeah.
Gold Moon. Ergrin could die, Bromodan says. That's fair. You have a draconian paladin, keep in mind. Red Dragon
Right.
Army armor, but still a draconian.
Oh, the hobgoblins were talking about how much they like the red dragon tote guy.
They did say that.
Hmm.
You have some sort of skeleton wizard.
Yes, I've completely forgotten that all of these people are still with us.
Yeah,
Black
I
robes.
totally
Yeah.
forget them too.
I'm saying this for you, Gary, because you've never remembered a thing in your life, and I'm trying to help you.
Nope, not at all.
I say we send the clerics and the wizard and whatever other randoms are with us to head over to start prying boards. While we do
Okay,
the
can we
more
keep at
heroic
least
thing.
one cleric with us?
I can get some healing.
All the clerics, just go.
Actually, I can heal
Just one.
quite well. One of my
Okay, I still want to keep a
one
cleric.
of my star forms is the chalice, so
That means I don't need. I have any idea what that means.
Yes.
it lets me heal better.
Okay.
Zane will refuse to go into the center of town to pry off boards.
Okay.
Well, then he can just go home then.
That's
I don't know
fair.
what his purpose is.
No. Zane, you go start a fire. You're good at that.
That he could do.
Yes, he can do that. Exactly. All right. So, who's gonna? I think that should. All right. Can we magic a hole in the wall, or should Gurel just, with the fire going, he thinks
I
that'll be
don't think we
enough
have
of a
any whole
distraction?
spells.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were researching whole spells earlier. and we're
Yeah,
done.
I didn't have any
Nobody
whole
does.
spells, unfortunately.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
let's hold on. Let's see. I don't think there's a whole spell, as it were, but
Oh, I mean, no spells exist that could help us here, but we just don't have.
don't
any.
let's,
have
well,
them
again, I'm
available.
looking at NPCs to see what they
Oh,
do.
sure.
What they bring to the table.
So far, just blank. There we go.
I think Ergrin totally has the right spell for this to
What?
make that whole.
Like what? What does he have?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember.
okay. The one who doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, who's gonna remember this? Yeah, Zane
Yep.
does not have anything that could do that. Ergrin. Let's see about him.
Pass wall?
Wait, what is it?
There's a spell called pass wall, but I think it's pretty high level. It just
Hmm.
makes a hole in the wall.
Yeah, warp wood.
Banishment. He could banish. Let's see what banishment says. Actually, you attempted
One
one
creature.
creature. That's already done. All right. I'm running out of things here, but let's see about Odie. Odie's probably just has smites and shit.
Sounds like an Odie thing.
Yeah. Zone of Truth. No, just
So here's what Chalice does anyway. I'll put it here, but basically, a constellation of a life-giving goblet appears on you in your starry form, and whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to a creature, you or another creature within 30 feet of you can regain an additional hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Wisdom. So it just gives a little bit of extra healing. And I have other star forms too. The dragon star form is a wise dragon appears on you, and you can make an intelligence or wisdom check.
How can we tell it's wise?
Like because
He's wearing glasses.
It is. Yes, yeah, it's where it's got a little goatee thing going on.
Yeah, and he strokes
Very
it in a ponderous fashion.
Yes, it sits like Thinker, the statue Thinker.
Yeah, naked on a rock.
But as the dragon, you can treat a roll of 9 or lower on the d20 as a 10.
Oh, and that was actually good of you to put that in the actual Twitch chat, so everyone could benefit. That was
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that! That was on the. I'm gonna get off there. I forgot I was even.
it was helpful for those watching at home.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
It was a mistake, but still,
It was a
worked.
mistake, but yeah, it worked.
Yeah,
least
there
I didn't
used to
like-
be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying it wasn't anything top secret, so.
There used to be a shape wood spell in 3.5, but it
It's
apparently
not-
never made it to 5th edition.
Yeah, well,
Stone shape, but
Yeah, stone shaped is, but not shaped wood. Which is a big hole in the spell list.
Specifically for this situation.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
As we've established, I don't remember anything, so the present is the only time that exists, and therefore this is the most important
It's
time
gotta
to
be a
ever
good way to
exist.
live, I feel like.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's like a dog. I'm like a dog.
Alright, so what's the plan?
I guess we send some of our extras over to.
You
start
cannot,
buying
I'm
wood.
going to tell you this right now.
Or we.
I will not allow, and this is what made Will mad, because I'm going to dictate things because this is a stream and not a regular D&D game. Even if this was a regular D&D game, I don't think I'd do it. You can't send all the NPCs to do a job. That's never going to fly. You need to have
Fine.
a
Who
certain...
wants to go babysit the NPCs?
There needs to be... We have 4 players tonight.
Split.
2 of you are going to do one thing along with NPCs, and 2 of you are going to do the other along with NPCs.
Feldspar will volunteer for the elf mission.
Yeah, I'll stay with the children mission, and I really don't give 2 shits about the NPCs. So.
Well, you're going to have to help the others figure out which come with. Because I'm also not going to manage that. I will press buttons on the Roll20 if you'd like to be a sponsor. We'd love to have you. Sheet, but you're going to decide who
Then
goes
2 clerics over to the whatchamacallit, the elves, and the other cleric and wizard can stay with
Take the draconian
children's group.
with the children mission because he might have some sway with those goblins.
That's a good point.
Yes, and Vantellis intends to go on the elf mission.
Now,
Clearly,
Odie says, and it's so hard not to do an Urgren impression.
All the NPCs sound like
All the NPCs just sound like
it's
Urgren.
really an infectious accent.
It is, and it's a lot of fun to do. He says, out of everybody, it would be probably easiest for me to get through the town to the tavern. So sending me to the place that's very close to us, I'm happy to do it if that's what you think is best, but I have a better chance of making it to the tavern unnoticed and unmolested than most.
Right. No, that's true. That's a good point.
And who's this guy talking?
This is Odie the Draconian.
And if we just look like mercenaries with you, that should be maybe nobody will stop us.
I mean, I'm going to be invisible.
Right.
I can't do
I
that.
don't know of any mercenary dwarves in the dragon armies. So if you sit on the shoulders of
Does anybody have a trench coat?
of Burke and put a trench coat over it.
All right, so you say you got about children mission. That's fine.
Again, I'm just saying that I don't know of any. There might be. But you're more likely to be stopped and interrogated. Promenade says, I have a cow costume.
Somehow that's
Dibs on the front half.
Promenade.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Keep the dwarves hidden. But I like the whole hiding in plain sight with Odie. I like that idea. I think whoever can pass as a mercenary
I
should
guess
try.
that's you.
That's you.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's me and you and Odie going to the
Going to-
tavern.
And
yeah,
possibly
tavern.
Urgren, because Urgren is also a human and he's a little rough and tumble. He's a plainsman, but
Right.
And it would be
Okay.
nice to take one of the clerics. Although I guess Odie can heal with being a paladin.
Yeah.
But you may have a lot of elves over there who need some healing, so.
Yeah, that I think it would be good to get.
I mean,
some
Elliston
people
is
back in fighting
also a human, but it's going to be a stretch for him to pass as a mercenary.
What if we grab somebody, knock them out, take their stuff, and dress up Urgren a little bit more?
That's certainly a possibility.
Okay. How difficult would that be to do?
I'm
we just
sure
have-
it's
Like
super
grab
easy.
one isolated soldier.
Well, what
or
you
whatever.
do
You know how
is
many
you wait
times
for one
Indiana
of them
Jones
to
did
be.
that to Nazis? It's a piece of cake.
Well, yeah, but those
Right.
are Nazis.
But you
I'm
wait for
talking
one of
about-
them
That's
to be
true. That's true.
PC.
One hit on the head and they're out.
You throw your Vorpal sword at him while he's peeing.
Look, he's gonna get that move right one of these days. All right.
Yeah.
it's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be
It
awesome.
will be. Yeah. It may be 10 years from now, but it will
That's
be.
right. It'll be
Yeah.
it'll be how I killed the final dragon.
We just have.
That's how the game ends with.
You'll be killing to
Throwing the
pieces.
Vorpal sword between its eyes and killing it.
Cool.
I tell you what.
Here we go.
I know. I mean, I don't know how this ends, but I know the final scenes. In theory, you could be in a position to throw a Vorpal sword at somebody that could end this shit.
There we go.
I'm just gonna
There we
put it
go.
out there. So don't lose hope, man. This it's possible.
Hey, I'm willing to let it die, but these guys are not letting it
No,
die.
no. You're next time you level up, you need to be putting a feat into it or something.
improvised weapons.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm
There's
pretty sure that
something
is
for
a feat,
that.
actually.
Yeah.
Improvised weapons. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know what it's
Oh,
called,
God.
but there's something for that.
There is.
There's
I
definitely
love that
something for
you're
that.
using an improvised weapon feat to be able to use a weapon just in a way that you have no business using that weapon.
Improvisationally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd say that could work. Yeah.
On the on the downtime, you see Garel just throwing the sword at trees, just practicing.
Training montage.
Yeah.
There we go.
Feldspar
Okay.
is out,
Comeback.
is out
That's it.
hunting for game. He's like, no, I got it. Throws a sword at a deer.
Sword.
His head comes off.
Not 20. All right, so. And we should write this down.
Throwing sword at.
Not that.
Oh, okay. We'll erase that then.
All right. 1 elves. We've got Van, Garel, Odie, Ergren, and possibly Elliston, if you could find somebody to knock out and take his armor or something. Is that right?
Right. Right.
Elliston. 2 kids. We've got Feldspar, Burke, Stone Moss, Zane. I think that's it, right? That's enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jesus Christ, too many fucking characters.
Another quick question before we go into it. When scouting around, did Deck notice, kind of any place where some weaponry might have been hanging out? It's twilight. Maybe there's some armor racks or weapon racks where things are, standing up and they could be easily pilfered along the way.
Sure, good question. Roll me a perception check, and that will determine my answer.
Sure, but it's going to be 7. Natural 20.
Fuck.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna have to find a place for this.
Vantellis is going to be like invisible, holding this many weapons.
Yeah.
The weapons become invisible if you're holding.
Clink, 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 clink.
You see the guards. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Is that my helmet?
There are, however, Van Halenus is what Bromanard is calling you now.
Van Halen. Living that van life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now there's not an armory per se.
Okay.
Right.
That being
Well,
said,
But where are they keeping the weapons?
we're just gonna make it nice and easy for Adam, and you just by chance. Inside of those rooms, in the inn, the tavern, there are, because look, everybody is basically at dinner now. They have weapons on them, of course, because otherwise it wouldn't be much. You'd be able to just walk through and just murder them. But there are additional weapons inside those rooms.
like
Okay.
the bedrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I like that.
Just want to get some. I want to get the weapons, before we release the elves.
Yeah, I want
Yeah, yeah.
Give
an
them
easier
to-
scenario for me, and I'm the DM, so I win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
there's
wanted weapons, you
on
found
those
weapons.
rooms, so
I could have said no. All
there's
right.
windows
Oh, with
on those
natural
rooms,
20, you
so-
couldn't.
I absolutely.
I mean, you could. You absolutely could.
Yeah, you're sure you didn't find anything. There you go. It could have just been that easy.
You tell me I'm doing well, and then you try to kill me. Okay.
Yeah. You guys are the ones that wanted to go to Pashin. Without real reason.
Well, I mean, we were gonna leave, and then you told us that they were.
Yeah, because I set up for this.
obviously. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, DM. All right. Okay, so we know where the weapons are.
You know where the weapons are, you know where the kids are, you know where the elves are, and you know where you can at least see a number of dragon armies. There's also a number of other buildings that there could be more in. There's also townspeople in buildings as well.
Right. Okay. So we
Maybe
still,
Maybe we,
are
maybe we
still-
just maybe we let the maybe we get the elves out and then just send them to climb in the windows and grab weapons.
There you
Be
go.
like, okay, you guys go over there, go get some weapons, give them some healing if they need it.
Right. I like that.
I mean, they'll be
do
doing
that.
better than they are now.
Now,
Sylvanesti elves are a hardy people.
remember, inside of this barn, not only are there elves, but there's that big fucking draconian thing.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why we want to sneak him out the back.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, he's just sitting there, though. Like, so
No,
the
I
minute
get it.
you start
Well, that's
prying...
why- No, we're gonna pry him back in this corner, not right here, because that would be
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, that's exactly
I mean,
what I imagined.
don't get me wrong.
That was
We
what
are
what
dumb.
Michael was talking about. Right?
We're just not that dumb.
All
I
right.
mean, I assume there are, stalls for horses, not like closed-in rooms.
Sure, but I mean,
Right.
how closely do we think he's paying attention? And honestly, it doesn't matter. We got to do what we can do.
Let's do it anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
And usually, like stalls for horses, stall to stall, you can see over.
Yeah.
But as far as outside, you're not really seeing all the way back into the back corner unless you walk back there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
now you're going to need to get then 2 back corners. Otherwise, you're going to have elves crossing the path that this dread.
Yeah, but that was kind of my vision, is that there would need to be 2 holes. Yeah.
I figured, if we could just make one hole and start getting them out, we're already doing great. But I hadn't really thought further than that at that point.
do something heroic.
Like I
and
said, we're
improvise.
dumb.
That's
At
my
least
plan.
I'm dumb.
Okay. And we have the groups. All right. So yeah, let's
All right, so the plan is you're going to have Vantellis, Gurel, Odie, Ergrin, and Elliston. Now, first you're going to need to start with getting Elliston some disguise.
right. And
Then-
Ergrin. Right?
I mean, it would
Awesome.
help if Ergrin did. Ergrin,
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly... Ergrin is
He could
better
pass,
than
but it
Elliston.
would be a bit better.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So 2 would be great. I mean, 3 would be perfect, because 1 for you as well.
Well, I've got.
we just have Odie pop out and say, hey, you guys, come over here.
He's
And
with.
they
Yeah,
probably
he's
will
with us.
obey.
He's with me, and then we walk.
And then
I thought we were just gonna walk in behind Odie and be like, yeah, we're with him.
You could try that.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan, but hey.
So that again, it's very unlikely that Elliston would pass as a mercenary. It is fairly likely that you two would.
Okay.
You more so than Elliston.
Right.
Yeah, we'll just have him pop out of the bushes, and because he looks like an authority figure, right? And just say, "Hey, you guy over there, come over here," and then you drag him into
Now
the bushes.
he is
and take
wearing
his armor.
a different color uniform, so he's not necessarily an authority figure. But he could
He
pass.
would be, at best, he would be an ally.
Right.
Here. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we should have Odie look like the lead of this group, and we literally just follow him as he walks into town, and we'll let him do the talking to get us through the town, if need be. Yes? No?
You know how much I love having the NPCs do the talking.
It's just you're so damn good.
Well, hopefully there won't
I
be
mean,
much talking.
it is the most logical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But getting uniforms for everybody
Okay.
would make it easier. I'm just saying for me,
Yes.
as not
Yes.
being the only guy playing this game.
Hey, the listeners come here for your mellifluous voice.
I don't know that that's. I mean, they should, but I don't know that that's true.
Love Lewis.
And they hear enough of it. Now, let's think of the plan, and we can move the map to the other map.
Okay.
All right, so the plan for this is up here in the north. This is where those children are.
Okay.
So the parents were literally standing right outside the door of the place where their kids were being held.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They
Cool.
didn't know it.
It's,
Yeah, well, I
mean,
put
you
them
know,
down
it's
there
the
before I even
irony.
thought they
It's
were-
delicious.
Yeah, I put them down there earlier this afternoon before any of these children even entered my mind. So that's a spur of the moment decision I came up with when you guys were sending your goddamn imps and squirrels all over the place. When you were almost going to pass by the entire thing that I just set up to go somewhere else where I didn't have anything prepared. So, yes, they are standing right outside the door, unbeknownst to them, right where their children are.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what's the plan here?
The plan here is to.
This isn't, I mean, this is really
Yeah.
Stone Moss.
We just wait for the
and
commotion
Feldspar.
at the
Yeah,
end,
this is
and then we
cool.
just fly into action.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay. But we have to get it. I still say that we use Odie as the lead, let him do the talking, and then just walk in there. Just walk in there like we own the place.
Yeah,
But Odie's going with the other group. I
Yeah,
thought we were
that's
trying
the-
to do it
that's
at
the
the
game
same
to
time.
yeah.
Oh!
You can't do
Odie's
both
the
those
other
things
group,
at the
that's
same time.
Yes.
That's
These are-
right.
You guys are
That's
doing this simultaneously.
What we need to do is clone Odie. And
Oh, right,
then
right.
The other group knows how to make draconians.
if only we could talk to each other.
Yeah, Brominar says, let's see how many kids survive. Yeah, we saw how many of the prisoners from Pax Darkus survived with this group.
Okay, this is not the same group at all.
That's true. There are
Mhm.
it's 50% new group.
Okay.
More
All
if
right.
you count in Chuck, but they can't bother to be here tonight. So Stone Moss and Feldspar, what's your plan for...
I mean, this group of hobgoblins just sits there like lumps.
Well, I mean, not lumps. They're active. They're talking. They're drinking. They're having a good time.
Lumps. So
Drunk lumps.
I'll
Drunk
work
lumps.
the
That's
squirrel
what they used to
around
call
the
me in
back
college.
where the window is. If they're, I'm assuming there's a window to the basement.
A window to the basement. No.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
one
most
of those
basements
little
have
narrows.
windows.
I'm in a basement right now. I am aware. Yes, yeah. There's a basement to the
Mhm.
window. That's how fuck lumps. What's the name of your
Oops.
Waddles.
this Twaddle?
Waddle?
Twaddle. T Waddle. That's where
T-Waddle.
T Waddle saw the kids. Fuck lumps T Waddle. How could you not make the connection, Michael?
Okay. So yeah, I'll work my way over to the window again. Kind of inspect the window. Is it going to be big enough to get in and out?
At least for the kids. Not
At
maybe
least
not
the
for
kids
us.
are the kids, able to move around freely.
Yeah, can they all get to the window?
No, they're chained up.
Okay.
God damn it.
I will say
So does
ropes,
it-
not chain. Ropes. They're tied up.
Ropes. Okay. Better.
Make it a little easier for you.
I was gonna say, it's a
So,
little extreme for
Are we
children.
negotiating?
Okay. So let's see here. The window
Twine.
itself. Let's focus back on the window. Can a child climb through the window?
Yes.
The window is glass.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Bring the squirrel back. We give him a knife and deliver.
That's where I'm actually going.
Yep.
All right, they're chained up again.
No.
I'm not letting the familiar with a knife in his teeth.
I just need to deliver it to
chained
the
up.
kids
That
so
would
they
be
can cut
awesome.
themselves.
That would be awesome. A squirrel running across a field with
Yeah.
a knife in his
Roman
teeth.
says
Yes.
spaghetti noodle ropes. Yeah, all he has to do is chew through, How much spaghetti can this squirrel eat? He's Italian. Damn you!
Or if it is ropes, he could just chew through the rope.
Could, but that would take longer.
Well, yeah,
They're
but
chains. They're
free,
chains.
you free
This has
one.
to be. There has to be some sort of level of.
Difficulty.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't pick locks. I'm sorry, kids. You're on your own. These kids are screwed. Let's go to the next town.
No way to get these kids out of there. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
They're stuck there forever.
We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
Yeah. Chris Andrews says the best plan ever. So we give the squirrel a knife.
That's step one.
And Chris Andrew cheers 100 bits to Michael. Team Squirrel! Exclamation point. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Okay, my only question is there still going to be distraction at the end? Because that'll be our signal to just, murk these guys.
What I thought the distraction was going to be setting something on fire, and then
Yeah, is that still happening?
fog rolls in.
I
thought
think it's
so.
still a good plan. We can still do
I think
that.
that's still
Ideally at neither of the two places that we're going to be, but
right.
Well,
so now we need to set 2 fires.
Zane can start a fire somewhere
Oh.
because he can go invisible
Okay.
as well.
okay, I think trying to draw attention away from the two, so a third position,
Like in,
triangulate from the two places we
northeastern-
need to go.
Like the north.
Actually, let's see.
Somewhere between
Which way
the
is
two.
the wind
so
blowing?
hopefully.
I mean southeastern. Which way is the wind blowing? God.
Yes, if he's making a fire, the
Roll
smoke
me.
direction.
How many fucking directions are there?
4.
Just okay.
Roll
He
me
goes
D12.
somewhere. He goes somewhere where the smoke is going to be
Roll
blowing.
me. No, I
inward.
get. I know exactly why you're asking me this question.
Okay.
I don't. It's not. That's not why I hate it.
I
Roll
know.
me
No,
a
I understand.
D12.
Okay.
Because we're rolling D12s all night here tonight on Dragonlance.
2.
2. It's blowing northeast.
Okay. So
If he goes southeast,
no southwest.
southwest.
If it's blowing east, he has to
yeah,
go
yeah,
southwest.
yeah. You're right. Southwest.
Okay, so yeah, there you go.
All right. And so Zane's gonna find some. All right. We're not gonna start this tonight.
Clearly,
I was gonna say,
this is all just set up.
Yeah.
but think of how good the next session will be.
Next session is going to be a shit show, regardless of what happens.
Yes. If you want to see a real disaster,
Yeah.
tune in. Hopefully in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a disaster for the DM or for the players, or a combination of the two.
Yeah. Do we need backup characters?
You might fireball the kid's house. Sander Evercool says. But Chris Andrews.
Actually, no. Our next characters are going to be those kids after we all die trying to save them. Then they do escape, and and
as
then
they
they're
grow
our
up.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do a time jump at
We'll
the
do a
end of next
montage
session,
first of all of them
Yeah.
growing
That's
up
true.
and training and
Right.
gathering their skills. So
Actually,
yeah,
this has potential.
it does. But yeah, there's no way we can start this tonight with 10 minutes left. I'm sorry, Chris Andrew. I know you want overtime, but the rest of us either have to go to bed or have things to do. Dragonlance kids? No. When they grow up, bro.
Yeah, no, we're not going to play the
the
kids.
pitch.
No, they should be. You should just be a couple of months to gain some various skills.
All right, well, then they're the oldest ones. They're already like 16, 17,
Yeah.
Well, okay. This was the setup to what could be a very interesting session, guys, next time.
Yeah.
So,
Like, we actually have a plan that we're going to try to enact, which is something really
this is the first time
weird for us.
it's ever happened. I don't think there's ever been a
That's
plan
true.
before.
It did take us the entire session to form the plan.
Although
but,
we do need
it
we
is
do need
a
Chuck
plan.
to we do need Chuck to come in 2 weeks and now just be like, no, I'm not doing that.
And then Gary quits.
Oh man.
Well, anyway, thank you, ladies, gentlemen, and others, for hanging out with us on D&D Friday for Atomic Peanut Butter Presents Dragonlance: Dragons of Faith, Part 4. Chris Andrews says, will they burn the town down? Will any kid survive? Will the squirrel
That's
use the knife
about
to
it.
start a ragtag gang with a moose and a wisecracking owl? Tune in next time for Dragonlance.
Yes,
Pretty
no,
good.
yes. My prediction.
That was a pretty good ending there. Yeah, well, we're going to find out if any of those things happen. It's possible that some kids survive. I don't know about the elves. Or the people rescuing the elves.
Let's just give him a fighting chance.
Oh, they'll absolutely have a fighting chance. And that's having Zane cause the distraction on the other end of the thing was a good idea. That'll definitely, it should help. I say definitely, it should. Depending on the dice roll. It's all about how
It'll
the dice
help.
roll.
How much it'll help is
Yeah.
unclear, but it will
Yeah.
help some.
Now it's about strategery, if I can make up a word, and dice rolls. And that's really what this game is about.
There we go.
Happy 50th anniversary.
And you definitely wrote down who was going to which.
I did. I wrote that part down.
Okay.
So this
Thank
way I know
God.
who's who. So anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with us on D&D Fridays. We appreciate it as always. Happy Pride Month. Happy D&D 50th anniversary. Happy Dragonlance 40th anniversary. We're celebrating a lot of things here. So much so that we're not going to be here next week.
Too busy
we will be-
celebrating.
Yeah.
but I
It's a
believe...
hangover from all of the celebration this week.
Exactly. But we will be back, I hope, the following week to get on with whatever the fuck is going to happen from here, guys. Yeah, that's it. Anybody else have anything you want to say?
You gonna try to raid into someone tonight?
No, because I'm not prepared for that. I have to set up, I have to get into the
A simple no will do
the
it.
website.
Yeah, no was good.
Yeah, I'm not ready for it. Next time I'll try to
Okay.
remember to be prepared. I can't do it from this screen. Anyway, 4, Gaz, Michael, Sedge, Kemchan, and Chuck, who couldn't bother to be here tonight. I am Adam saying good night. Happy Pride Month. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And we will see you next time on Dragonlance. And it's going to be a doozy. Bye, guys.
Bye now.